right. Good morning. Welcome to the inaugural, our very first HTC live morning shows. I'll do a little bit of housekeeping, bring my viewers and my guests up to speed in terms of what's happening. Bring you guys up to speed on what's happening first. But had another device playing in the background. So, so we're doing something different for 2026. All of the recorded education has pretty much been produced. There's not too much more I can do on that front. The entire Harmonic Trading Academy has been built and completed and split into modules. So now what I'm doing is giving my subscribers more of a live experience. And this will be like this all the way through the rest of 2026, at least 5 days a week. The format will look like um, Monday and Tuesday mornings, that's stocks. I'll be coming back Tuesday night and Wednesday night during the London Forex session. Now that's where things will be interactive. That's where we can interact and you can say, what about this? What about that? Those are more like live workshops where we'll work together. We'll construct trades, look at opportunities, look at the market, analyze. We'll do all that stuff in those live markets. But those are for Forex. That's Tuesday night, Wednesday night, London, midnight. I'll take a break on Thursday and then come back on Friday morning with pretty much something that just covers the entire market. That could be stocks, that could be Forex, that could be crypto, just whatever that's going to be for Friday. And I said 5 days, there's a bonus. My lives will be 6 days. And here's what you guys really are gonna love about this. Saturday mornings or afternoon, wherever I park them, those will be Q&A and everything for you to get from me. So Saturday mornings is where we come on, and that's where you really say, "What about this? What about that?" Or "I was in this trade," or "I was in that trade," or "Can you tell me why this didn't work? Why did this trade lose? Why did this fail?" Or "I'm struggling with this concept. I'm struggling with that concept." So I think most of the value is going to actually really come from those um, Tuesday night, Wednesday night London Forex sessions, and that Saturday open Q&A lab session. I think that's where most of the value is going to be. These right here that you see, these Monday and Tuesday sessions, those are not going to be interactive. I won't be interacting with you guys. Feel free to leave your messages, your comments in the chat, and I'll come back and answer those. But these sessions here, it's kind of like more of like a briefing where I just come in, I'll break some stuff down, give us a layout, format, and a platform to stand on as we go forward here at the Harmonic Trading Club. The reason I'm doing it like this, and you guys will see how much sense it's going to make, is so that we can cut out the noise. What we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to see what the markets are doing, where they at, how they stand, and then now that we're in alignment with it, we will be able to continue to move and stay in align with the markets instead of getting whipsawed over the place and having to guess, well, what about this and what about that? And I think this and I think that, and I heard this and I heard that. And we'll be able to remove all of that fluff and all of that anxiety so that you will know where the market is. And nobody can do it like we do it here at the Harmonic Trading Club. So I think I got all the housekeeping stuff ready. Let me tell you how we're going to do it for at least this first inaugural week. Looking at a couple of the major indices, so major stuff with some explanation. Remember, these are not teachings, these are not workshops, these are not lessons. These are briefings. This is getting us up to speed so we can know what we're dealing with. Overall, okay, we're going to start with the big dog, the S&P 500, looking at that, okay, because The S&P 500 is really the condition and the strength of the overall market. So you got to know what's going on with the SPY. From there, we'll take two stocks out of the SPY and we'll talk about which two stocks we pulled out the SPY that should align with that. Next is QQQ and Vesco. Okay, that's very big because the QQQ kind of shows the risk appetite of the investors, the sentiment. Where do they want to go? So the SPY will show actually what's happening. Okay, how is the market doing overall? That's why it's important. That's the 500. Okay, and the QQQ is like, what is their appetite? Where are they trying? Where are they trying to go? The third thing that we're going to deal with, at least for this week, is the Dow, the DJI. Because of those 30 companies, guess what? And this is the thing I love about this industry is there are things that no one likes to tell you or wants to tell you. Nobody wants to explain anything. They just love to have you guys walking in the dark. We don't do that over here. What's important about the Dow, the DJI, the secret, is those 30 companies hold the key to where the money is. That's where the money is sitting. Okay, with those 30 companies, that's your large cap. So that's an indicator. If they're not moving, pretty much nothing else is moving. If those big dogs are on the run, you can pretty much expect to see everybody else on the run. So inside of those three markets, we've pulled two stocks each and we'll talk about them. So now that we've got all the housekeeping done and out the way, let's do it. But as the initial show, we had to kind of lay the framework in which we're going to be dealing with. So we're already on SPY. And remember, my objective is to show you where we are and what can we look forward to potentially. There are no projections. There's no guessing. There's no none of that stuff. Just knowing where we are and how we got there. Okay. So on the SPY, how we got to where we are now, we're at 685. We've moved up slightly today. I don't have the pre-market indicator turned on. I'm in the current, right? I don't want to start jumping around. But a lot of people didn't know. Of course, in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion, we got here with an advanced pattern, a harmonic pattern, one of the most powerful, bullish Gartley pattern, okay? One of the things that we always want to know, okay, is the market structurally sound? Okay, and then of course I'm going to put another layer on top of that, and I'm going to say, is it structurally sound and is it harmonically sound? Because I want to see it moving in that harmonic rhythm, touching those harmonic ratios. So with the SPY, as you can see with your own eyes, I'll break this down before we move on. It is harmonically and structurally sound, okay? Coming down here when this Gartley was presented, structure, support, fire up, come down, fire up, fill the Gartley with structure. Normal expected distribution to come fill that. And that's why I have it bubbled off. Structure, is it structurally sound? Notice when the first distribution came here, I have it circled off, and at the second time, structurally sound. Now watch where that comes into play. As the Gartley fires off, as it should, because it does this 70% of the time if you can set it up right. And if the sentiment is behind it, this is the type of price action you can see. Structurally sound. The distribution after a run like that is expected, normal. Okay, so you see a little bit of distribution after a run like that. How much was that run? 650 to 690? 40 points, you're going to see some distribution after that. Expected. But look at the bubble to the left, structurally sound. The structure held, you get another rally, a retest from where it came from. Okay. Now I do have some projections on here. I'm not going to be too concerned about them because it's kind of too early to tell. All we do know is that since it's structurally sound, that your trend is still intact and it hasn't been broken. Remember, what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about what no one else wants to tell you. Oh, it's this and that. They want to whip. They want it. They just can't help it. It's like sometimes people just want to talk. All right. And we don't do that here. The SPY, the market overall, this is all you need to take from this. Right now, the market is structurally sound. It hasn't been violated. It hasn't been broken. You're going to see distribution. You're going to see minor and slight corrections. That's normal. And that's okay. Okay. Okay, so, all right. I hope that my mic was working all this time. It better have been. So, um, projection wise, even though I don't want to make predictions and projections because of the way the market is moving, there are still some target areas. Remember, these are not to be construed as trading advice or investment advice or anything like that. We're breaking down the market technically for education and entertainment purposes, especially now that we are in a live format. Okay, so there are some targets above the $700 range, specifically 705 and above, if the current trend that we see can continue. All right. Remember, now this one I got some dialogue in. QQQ. It's probably too much for me to read about. I can probably talk about more what happened. And if you feel like you want to, you can read some of the boxes I have on the screen. But remember, what was the market sentiment? What did they want to do? Okay. What was their risk appetite when it came to QQQ? Okay. Their risk appetite was out of this world. Okay. It was out of this roof. As you can see where I do have a projection, if this happens, a reasonable expectation zone sits higher in the mid upper 650s. Now, let me explain why. Okay. One of our very powerful technical patterns, 2618 technique. Okay. Right here, double bottom, price, retest double bottom, break and close beyond previous structure, beyond that V-neck, and then normal distribution. Okay, after that kind of expansion, some distribution is normal. That doesn't change the sentiment. Okay, it just resets it after that. Here's the reset. Okay, normal finding structure at the 618 retracement of that low to that high. Normal expected. Okay, and of course, they're back into the game. But after another run like that, you're going to see some distribution. Unfortunately, along the path of this, it got hit with a cipher pattern. And then, of course, you're going to get a reaction. That's why there was a bearish cipher that reacted. But at this point, it looks more like local distribution and overall change. This has not been broken. How long it will take to get there, we don't know. But this has not been broken by all means, okay? So you got the structure after the distribution. You have the decision that was initially made after the retest and the higher high, higher close, outside return. Here are the projected areas that we could see. Remember, we just want to set the stage so you guys can know what's going on until something changes. Let's say the price on QQQ just completely falls out. That's telling you they don't have confidence, okay? Their risk appetite is low. They no longer want to go long. That's what that means, okay? So that's QQQ. Last, and you guys remember in the opening, I talked about the DJI, the Dow. That is what's so key and what's so important, okay, is that is where the money is sitting in those 30 strongest companies, okay? It's where the money is sitting. So if they're not really moving, it's kind of like QQQ. They kind of like go together. If they're not really moving, then that tells you they're not. Let's just look at the note I put on the Dow after the retest, right? This is the retest, this double top that was formed after the retest of prior highs. Price has settled into a very tight consolidation range. That tells us something important. Capital isn't leaving, it's not coming lower, but it's not pressing higher. So again, so that you guys can know where we are. We can't do anything until you know actually what's going on. That's what's going to strengthen the probability and things like that when you do get ready to take a shot. And again, like I said, this is where the money is sitting. Until that range resolves, the expectation is sideways behavior while the market waits for the next decision. So right now, we don't really have anything to do. Now, if you want, you can start jumping into smaller time frames and doing things of that sort. But really, overall, macro, day, week, month, you don't really have anything to go off unless you find some type of amazing setup that you just can't help but take. So remember, I said I was going to pull 2 stocks out of each. So let's deal with the first out of the SPY. That'll be Apple. Okay, Apple. Now, this is a good one. Apple. Remember what you heard me talking about. Okay, is it structurally sound? Yes, it's structurally sound. There is no violation of anything. Okay, structure is still sound. Price has been consolidating, moving around. We're going to zoom in closer and talk about that, right? There's no urgency. Nothing is really happening. There's really nothing anyone should be able to tell you about Apple, okay? So I'm going to come back in closer to where we were, so we can see that consolidation that I was talking about, okay? Drops down into this range and starts going sideways, okay? And in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion, does give you a powerful pattern, a bat pattern, filled, completed, reacting. So filled down here at 270, now up at 271. But here's the thing. Because no decision has been made, since you're still just in this range, you can't expect much from it, but just to go and test a little bit higher into it, to stay in it. There's nothing to suggest that Apple is coming out of this yet. Remember, we're setting the expectation so that we can know where we are. So we're not jumping around and being told this and that. You don't have, we're no longer going to have to do that. You'll know that Apple is in a sideways consolidated range with somewhere between $270 and $275. That's all you need to know. Probably a $5 spread going to be going forward until something else is discovered. Okay? That's Apple. The other one that I pulled out was Johnson & Johnson out of the SPY. Big money, big company. Okay. So let's look at him. Okay. Structurally sound. Remember, that's the word. Remember, that's why I started the show with that. We want to know if the market is structurally sound. This trend here that you see with Johnson & Johnson is structurally sound. Okay. Remember, another part of the terminology that I used was distribution is normal after this H3C, higher high, higher close, establishing that new high. Distribution normal, expected. So nobody's telling you, oh my God, all of this stuff is happening. Ooh, Johnson & Johnson fell today. Expected after hitting that high. You're going to get distribution. Investors are going to close positions. People are going to win trades. Expected, especially establishing that high. The distribution is normal. And the distribution was set up in the form of one of our marquee setups, a 3-bar reversal, bullish engulfing candle, followed by doji, followed by trigger and entry. That's going to set that up to come down, drop down into the 618 golden ratio where support, reach down, touch it, come retest it, V, double top, working, support it. Okay? Not saying, well, this could. Okay, this could allow retests back up into the 215 area. And I think I wrote that down. Looking at Johnson & Johnson, the prior move into the 215 area was strong momentum. Okay, that trend we were talking about, expansion. After that, we saw a clear distribution phase, not a breakdown. Okay, it just retraced to the 618 where structure held, as you can see right now. Now, Johnson & Johnson is back on the move. Okay, now this is more of how investors are reacting to the market, but I was able to pull 1-2 stocks out so far just to show inside of the SPY what all this means and what it looks like. Price has stabilized there from a structural standpoint. That opens the door for potential retest of the prior high, that 615 area, and continued momentum. As you see, I have it plotted out here in the 219 through 221 range. Okay, and our shows will get shorter and quicker. This one's probably going to be about an hour, but I kind of want to see if I can knock these out within about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, moving over, pulling 2 out of QQQ. Okay, NVIDIA, of course, why not? Remember 2 of the words that I use. Is it structurally sound? Okay, is it in some type of collapse? Is it in some type of free fall? Is it just skyrocketing, blowing through, creating new highs? Okay, structurally sound, obviously, nothing crazy has happened. Only good things. And the other part, harmonically sound, okay? How did we get to where we are? See, you're going to want to start doing that, wanting to know, how did we get to where we are? We got here because of this green, the current price action, where we're at right now, the 192, this green Gartley pattern is the reason for it. There was a retest that came and presented a bat pattern. So, of course, as you can see with your own eyes, hey, I didn't name this the Harmonic Trading Club for nothing. Whether you like it, hate it, or understand it or not, the market continues to create harmonic patterns over and over and over again. It's just the way it does. The easier and the sooner you learn that, the easier this will be for you. It will never be easy, but as the sooner your reticular trains and as soon as the sooner your brain can understand that this is what the market wants to do, things just become a little bit lighter for you. I'll put it like that. But Gartley pattern come, retest, that pattern takes off, super winner. Problem is there's a bearish cipher. I'm not saying that what's going to happen here, but typically with something like cipher, you can expect a reaction. No telling to what degree, but once you do get up to this 203 area in NVIDIA, you can expect a reaction. Okay, still everything's structurally sound and intact. All right, the second out of the QQQ, it's going to be Microsoft. Okay, is it structurally sound? Yes, it's consolidating. Okay, looking at Microsoft, price has been consolidating since late November. November 16th that you see here, mid to late November. We did see a Gartley pattern fill and react because, of course, you're starting to see these things everywhere. You should be asking yourself, why does it keep showing these things? These different patterns, Gartley, bat, cipher, why? Because that's what the market does. That's why you're here. We did see a Gartley pattern complete and reaches harmonic objective, meaning a full win off of it. But instead of continuing, price stalled as it should. Distribution occurred after that. Started moving sideways, as you see in this little range up here. And then they're going to come out. They're going to leave that alone, okay? And then probably stay inside of this range. What I was showing here on this last part of it is the potential for it to move back into the range with a 3-bar reversal. Not there yet. Bearish engulfing candle, doji. I kind of drew in the third candle, which would need to happen after today. We don't know yet. Okay. And the second is Caterpillar. Caterpillar is good. So structurally sound, yes. In trend. Is that trend structurally sound? Yes. We won't get to do the harmonically sound on this one. But, okay, remember that H3C, higher high, higher close principle I was talking about? High, higher high, higher close. Trend still intact. Distribution expected and normal. Excuse me. Distribution expected and normal. Dropping down into the 618 retracement golden ratio. Support found. And 3-bar reversal to get it back going. Notice how this is repeating over and over and over. You're hearing and seeing the same thing. Okay. Normal distribution after higher high, higher close. Okay. They're going to pull out after that. That's normal. Oh my God, the market's falling. Oh, Caterpillar dropped 20 or 30 points today. Bull. It's not what happens. That's expected. That's normal. Distribution. Fall down. 618 retracement from the low to the high. Dig into it. It becomes support, 3-bar reversal, bearish engulfing candle, doji, trigger an entry, go where the doji was, the decision candle becomes support, you're off to the races again. Now even higher at 605. We're at 598 when I did this recording. Not recording, but when I marked this up. 608. It's moved $7, almost $8 since then because of what I'm talking about, okay? Last but not least, the last thing I pulled out was Coca-Cola. Again, you're not seeing all of this triangle madness for nothing. This is how the market moves, okay? It continues to create these harmonic patterns over and over and over. And I'm not here to push that. I'm here to talk about everything, but it's nice to throw that in there because that kind of is our staple here at the Harmonic Trading Club. But, okay, so where we are is this purple, okay? Bullish bat pattern filled, okay? Came down, filled. It looks like there might be some reaction in it. I basically had low confidence in it, okay? That's why I said we'll wrap this up with Coca-Cola. Good example of layered harmonic structure. Right now, there's a completed bat. I said I have low confidence in it. The reason I have low confidence in it is because of the harmonic structure beneath it. The yellow guy here, cipher. A lot of times when the market wants cipher, it goes and gets it. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I have to pay attention to it. I can't ignore that. I can't not plot that. It's there. I have to take it into consideration. Same thing with the green bat pattern underneath it. I have low confidence in the bat pattern, which is filled right now. I'm not saying what's going to happen, okay? But everything is still intact, but we could see some dropping from Coca-Cola. Mind you, the drop from the purple bat at 69 to the cipher at 67 is only $2. That could very well happen. Not saying it is going to happen or not. If price holds, we could see stabilization on Coke. If it breaks lower to the next harmonic structures, both of them are only a couple of dollars away, so they could come into play. All right. So I wanted to pull those out. Believe it or not, of course, there's a lot of money in Coke. So just helping out with two stocks from the DJI, from the Dow. So that is actually the end of the briefing. We covered those. We'll try to not be repetitive, but what we were able to do is kind of set the stage for we can know what we're looking at least stock wise. So no matter where we go inside of each market, we should be looking for the same type of things. Again, leave your comments in here. I hope that I haven't been able. This is our inaugural show. Might have been a little rough at points in time. This is the first one. It's only going to get better and better, sharper. You guys are going to get better and better and sharper, and we're going to have an amazing 2026. I hope you enjoy our inaugural initial HTC Harmonic Trading Club Mornings Live. We will be back tomorrow. We'll get a chance to talk about things that happened with the stage that we set today. Tuesday night and Wednesday night, we jump in. We go live London midnight for our Forex people. Those will probably be 12:30 a.m. for our Forex lovers, our currency people. And then again, don't forget, we'll come back Friday to clean everything up. That'll be Friday HTC Mornings Live. And then Saturday, that's where you want to be. That's where we come in. You can pretty much... That's going to be kind of like accelerated. If you really want to learn what I talk about, if you really want to learn structural analysis in the end, and especially advanced pattern recognition, you want to be with me on those HTC Morning Saturdays. Okay. That being said, you guys be good. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some out of it. You should. We broke down 9 different assets. Share the video if you know anyone that this could help. You guys know where to go if you want to learn this stuff. The Harmonic Trading Academy playlist. Just check out the modules that you need. Hit the thumbs up on this one so the algorithm can know that HTC Morning Lives has been launched. Take care of yourself in the market. Send your comments through and I'll answer them. Thanks for all your support and your subscriptions.